All right. Well, good morning to you guys. I had a comment from a guy that I've been talking to for the last month or so, who's a subscriber, and he wanted me to do videos about the first day in the Philippines, the first month in the Philippines, and my first year in the Philippines. I thought that was a really awesome suggestion because those have been defining moments and time periods since I've been here. So I thought today I'd try to tackle my first 24 hours in the Philippines. Oh man. Let me preface it by just saying that prior to getting out here, I had sold my condominium 5 months prior to me thinking that I was going to sell my condominium. I put it on the market and it sold right away. So about 5 or 6 months prior to making the trip out here, I ended up emptying out my place and renting a room from some people that were kind enough to let me stay at their home. So that was kind of unplanned, and but it was manageable, but it was uncomfortable. And at the time in America, prior to moving out here, I was really going through a lot. I had a lot of emotional dysfunctions, I guess would be the proper word. Panic attacks and anxiety disorder were really, really prevalent in my life. I did a video a long time ago about why I moved to the Philippines, and I addressed all those issues as to why I was having all these mental meltdowns. So the only reason I bring it up now is so it kind of fits into the story. So now I've lived with these people for 6 months, and finally it's the day that I'm going to leave for the Philippines. This big buildup, and I've got everything in order. At least I think I do. I've got my tickets. I've got my one suitcase. I've got my one backpack. Everything else has been either given away or thrown away or disposed of in one way, shape, or form. And you have to understand, I had, anticipated this moment for years. And so anyway, now it's the big day. They drop me off at the airport, the folks that I'm living with, and we say goodbye and hugs. And I said goodbye to all my friends and this and that. And I go to the airport, and a very long story, I'll try to make short. My flight was canceled. And the only reimbursement, the airline wouldn't give me a hotel room. And I was in Las Vegas. Yeah, but the only reimbursement they gave me was a round trip taxi. So I could take a taxi from the airport to wherever I wanted to go and come back to the airport the next day for free. So what I ended up doing was calling the poor people that I had just left and gave this big farewell speech to, and I had to come crawling back for another 24 hours. And I gotta tell you, I didn't do a lot of sleeping. I was pissed off. The anxiety was hitting, and I just kind of hung out. And my flight was the next day at 6 a.m. and I think that they kicked me out of the airport around 4 p.m. So anyway, I went back to their house. It was kind of embarrassing, even though it was no fault of my own, but it was just, kind of a weird thing. We'd already did this big goodbye and everything. So now the next day rolls around, the taxi pulls up as scheduled, takes me back to the airport. And I've got what's called an onward ticket. So an onward ticket is when you're flying into the Philippines, if you don't have a round trip ticket taking you back out of the country within 30 days, you need to have what's called an onward ticket, which is kind of a bullshit thing where you're flying into the Philippines and somewhere between 1 day and 30 days, you need to have a ticket that's exiting the country. And so I had all that. I was all set. And again, I hadn't had much sleep. I go in, I'm checked through the baggage, and the kid comes along to look at my tickets prior to boarding. And I was told, because and it was true, I was told on all the YouTube videos that I watched previously that if you don't have an onward ticket, you could have an issue. They don't always check, but you better have one. So, I spent the $30. I got the onward ticket. I figured everything's good to go. And so when I present my tickets, this young kid, I think it was his second day on the job, says, "Oh, you're going to the Philippines?" "Yeah." "And how long are you going to be there for?" And I said, "I think about 3 weeks, and then I'm flying into wherever I booked to, Singapore." And he says, "Oh, so you're landing in Cebu?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "And then in looks like 20 days, you're going to go from Manila to Singapore." I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, how are you going to get from Cebu to Manila?" And I felt the panic attack starting to hit, and I felt I felt the signals coming. I started getting dizzy, and I said, "Well," I couldn't understand why he was interrogating me, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna take I forget what I said. I'm gonna take a tour bus or something like that." I start making up this story about how I'm going to be going from Cebu to Manila. And he starts questioning that. And I start raising my voice. And a supervisor came over and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And looked at me and looked at the ticket and looked at the onward ticket and said, "Sir, you're fine to go." And then she looked at the kid. And I guess he was just out of training or something, and he was grinding me. So that was like this. So far, I've got a canceled flight, and I've got this other guy spinning me out because he's grinding me about the onward ticket. And so finally, I get on the friggin' plane, and to be honest with you, I don't remember where I flew to because my original ticket had me going to San Francisco, and then I think to Korea, and then on to Cebu. I honestly don't even remember where I landed. What I do remember is that I flew to, I want to say Korea, and then from Korea on to Cebu. And I sat 2 seats away from a woman that coughed the entire flight. And when I got into Cebu, I could feel a cough coming on. So that was a little discouraging. So now I'm in Cebu and I've landed. It's finally happened. I take a taxi to my hotel. I check into the hotel and I've got a bunch of cash on me. I think I've got $7,000 or $8,000 in my pocket. And I had changed some money at the airport, and I was really paranoid. Again, you got to understand my emotional state was one of like hyper alert, and I couldn't settle down. And I kept worrying about this $8,000 that I had, and I ended up hiding it in like 4 different locations in the room. I split it up, and I kept thinking people were going to break in because I'd heard all these horror stories. And I was there in the afternoon after, I don't know, I'd gone about 40 hours at this point with very little sleep between the flight cancellation, a lady coughing. I couldn't really go to sleep on the flight. And so maybe in 40 hours, I got 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Then here I am. So I decided that, okay, I'm just going to take some money. I'm going to put it in my pocket, and then I'm going to put some in my suitcase, and I'm going to hide some over here. I'm going to hide some over there in the closet. And looking back on it, it's kind of comical, but that was my state of mind. And so now I'm already kind of disappointed when I get here because it wasn't anything like I had envisioned. I had spent a year in Thailand, and I think that we tend to believe what we want to believe. And I'd never been to the Philippines. And my little fantasy that I'd created in my head was that the Philippines was going to be just like Thailand, but they speak English. And on the cab ride from the airport to the hotel in Cebu. I said, I'm not in Thailand. This looks more like Mexico. So I was kind of deflated when I first got here. So now, anyway, I've got the stuff in the room. It's maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Uh, I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm too jacked up. So I said, well, what I think I'll do is I'll just go downstairs and walk around a little bit and kind of take the temperature of the city and myself. And downstairs was a place that said you could get a foot massage for 200 or 300 pesos. I said, oh my God, that sounds awesome. My back is killing me. My feet are killing me. The flight was brutal. I'm going to go down and relax and I'll get a foot massage. So I go into the place. A young lady takes me over and there's some other people next to me. It wasn't in a private room. It was in like a group deal where they sit down and they work on your feet. So this young lady, not that young really, she starts doing the foot massage and she starts chatting me up something fierce. Are you single? It's the question I learned that you get to hear a lot. Yeah, I'm single. Oh, really? Where are you from? Blah, 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 blah. I'm from here. I'm from there, blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to be polite and I'm talking to her and asking her about her life. And she shares the fact that she has 8 children. And she really? And all of a sudden the foot massage is not getting all that relaxing because she's wanting to know if I would like her to come up to my room and give me a private massage. I'm like, no. All I really want you to do is to finish this one. Let me the hell out of here. And now this supposedly relaxing foot massage that I think I deserve is turning into a friggin' debate with whether or not she's coming up to my room later. And all I can think of is, I got 8,000 cash up there. You got 8 kids to feed, so I'm not liking my odds. So anyway, I get out of there and I give her a tip and I said, God bless, goodbye. And I said, you know what? That was the least relaxing massage I've ever had, foot massage I've ever had. I said, I'm going to get another one. I'm going to walk across the street here and I'm going to find a massage place that's got a male masseuse. And I'm going to have him work on my neck and work on my back because it's killing me. So I do that. I find a place. It's got a male guy. He takes care of me and gives me an hour massage and I'm loosened up a little bit. So I'm a little dizzy still from the flight, the panic disorder, one goofy massage, and one really good massage. Legit, nice, no hassle, no pressure. I was happy. So I go rolling out of massage parlor number 2, and I think I'll go get something to eat, and I'll go back to the room and reorganize and regroup a little bit. And as I walk out of the massage parlor, I'm just kind of trying to get my bearings. I don't even know what direction my hotel is in. So I'm looking around, and I got kind of turned around a little bit, and everything's kind of looking the same. There's motorbikes, there's trikes, there's this, there's that. And this woman comes running up to me and saying, hi, hi, hi. And I don't know who she is. And turns out it's a lady boy. And starts asking me, where's your hotel? Who are you? What's your name? Are you single? Do you want a massage? I'm like, the last thing I need at this point is a massage. And I said, and I'm new in country. And my response today would be 180 degrees different than it was then. But I was trying to be polite and I said, no, it's okay. And so she keeps asking me, well, where's your hotel? And I said, that's a good question. I have no idea. I'm looking for it. She said, well, I'll help you find it. I said, no, you won't. And now I have like a 20-minute argument with a ladyboy that I didn't ask to have a conversation with in the middle of some square I'm at after I just got a decent massage. Now, the My friggin' blood pressure's up to here again. So finally, I spot my hotel. I see the name of it. And I said, well, I'm staying over there, which was a different hotel. And I said, and she goes, well, I really want to see you. Can I see you? I said, sure. You come see me tomorrow. I'm staying at that one. I forget the name of it. When I was really staying at that one. All right. So I go back to the hotel. I think I get a cup of coffee or something down in the lobby. And it's time to eat. So I walk over, I get some chicken and rice at a little fast food place. I never pronounce it right. I think it's called Mang and a Sal, something like that. It's chicken on a stick. I didn't care for it. And while I was walking around back, so I still can't sleep. I'm still not tired. I'm still jacked up. Even though I haven't had any sleep, I'm just jacked up. So I thought, well, I'll go over here. There's a cool looking place called Murphy's Pub. So I go into Murphy's Pub and I order water. I said, there's no way I can drink a beer or anything stronger than water or a soda. Excuse me, at this time. I'm just too whacked out. So at Murphy's Pub, there's this guy who plays acoustic guitar and sings, and he's got the little setup, and he's awesome. And I was really enjoying myself. I had like 2 or 3 bottles of water because it was hot as hell. And I'm just relaxing, listening to this guy sing. Well, after the 3 bottles of water, I needed to go to the restroom. So I got up, used the facilities. I came back to my table, and I leaned on my table with my hand. And the tables out here, or at least the tables at Murphy's Pub, were wobbly. And I leaned on the table, and I went like this, and the table collapsed, and I fell on my fat ass right in the middle of Murphy's Pub, like this, on the ground. And it took about 3 guys to pick me up. So I hit my head. And so I was humiliated because I thought everybody thinks, oh, look at this guy. He came in here and got drunk and passed out. And so I thought, good God, what else can go wrong? So anyway, I've had 2 shitty massages, actually 1 good massage. I've been accosted by a lady boy. I've managed to pass out in a pub without being drunk. I've had a crappy meal. Well, I may as well go back to my hotel room and just because tomorrow I'm going by bus to Dumaguete. I do just that. I pick up some snacks. I go up to the room. I have some sleeping pills. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to barricade the door because I was still just convinced somebody was going to break in and take my money. So I go to sleep. And I sleep about 12 hours. And I wake up the next day and I'm really feeling a lot better. So I get my shower in, shave, change my clothes. Lo and behold, all my money's there. Get all that tucked away. I go downstairs. The night before, the receptionist had been kind enough to let me know the bus schedule and when to get a cab and to take it to the bus terminal. That was about 9 o'clock in the morning. So 9 o'clock in the morning, I go downstairs, got all my shit. I'm going to get into a cab to take it to the bus terminal, hop on the bus, and make my trip to Dumaguete. As I am loading the stuff into the cab, who comes running at me at full speed but the lady boy from the night before, going, "Hi, Paul. Hi, Paul." And I just wanted to sink into the ground because all these people turn and look at me. Now, I got nothing against lady boys, but you got to understand, I am 24 hours into the country, and I was just embarrassed. I thought, oh, these people think that I was with that lady boy last night, and now she's coming back for more action, And boy, I was never so glad to get on the bus. So that, my friends, is my first 24 hours in the Philippines. I'll do a video about my first month next time. All right. Subscribe. Bye.